What's going on, people? I decided to do a little video about Reitnoure trailer. Holy crap, I got mad at myself. I was fixing a tire. Anyways, couple positive things, couple negative things. So this is Big Baba Reitnoure trailer, 2015 tri-axle. I will talk specifically about the one I have. They all pretty similar. They didn't change nothing on them. I think for past 15 years, I would say, they always been bolted together. They always, hold their value. Never had any sort of problem with them. I never found any problems. I did a ton of research on them because when I was looking for this one, I specifically wanted a tri-axle. Don't know why, just to look cool. And I like Mack trailer, and it was impossible to find them with a tri-axle. So I considered buying a Reitnoure, so I bought one. This has been, I would say, about a little over the year I own this trailer. Okay, negative things about this trailer. Lights. And it's not all lights. It's just two lights on the back, which I disagree how they did it. And some people are gonna say, no big deal. It is big deal for me. I don't like it. So this light right here, that's the one you can see from your mirror. It's sucked in so far into the trailer, you don't see it till you start turning it. My preference on this rear light, I like when they combed out. So if you look at the rod rail, this is rod rail, I prefer so to be either flush with the rod rail or just a little bit out. And if you look, this is basically straight up and down, it's into it, so you don't see it. It's all right, I kind of got used to dealing with it. It's fine what it is. Number two, this trailer is all bolted together. There's no welds besides the rod rail. The main structure is bolted. As you can see, there's a ton of bolts all the way underneath it, and I mean, go on and go on and go on. I bet they're using close to like 1,000 bolts on this damn thing. I do occasionally check them with the wrench. I grab a couple wrenches, go underneath it, and I just put a wrench on them and check them. Never found single one loose. Like I said, trailer's 2015, so I think the guy who I bought it from, he bought it in 2014 as a 2015. The trailer thing works really, really goofy because, as I see on the track paper, you can buy a 2020 trailer. Still 2018. Doesn't make no sense. Anyways, this thing's right here. That's only one thing I found. They're basically like a self-tapping screw, so pre-drill screws or whatever you want to call them. You do have to check on them. The way I check on them, I basically walk on the floor, and you would hear where the bolt's loose. It will basically have like a crunchy sound to it. And I mean, they're not loose much, just a little bit, and it's acceptable because when you're driving, the whole trailer flex, so they have to give a little bit. So if you end up buying a 5-6-year-old trailer, you might want to consider take time and check every one of the bolts, at least on the deck. This back step wall, I call it, I don't know the proper name for it, but this bolts, I found some of them were loose. This is actually a bolt and a nut from behind, so you kind of gotta get into it. So generally, trailer is awesome. It has a ton of options. You have two toolboxes, winches on both sides, which I did add-ons to them. You have a flags, holders, and you have one more pigtail for lifting axles from inside the cab if you want to wire it that way, or dump the air from inside the cab. That part, doing it from inside of the cab, that's majority if you're too lazy to get out of your truck. This axle, constantly on the ground, middle axle does lift, and rear axle. So you can run it 3 down, either run it like a spread, or you can run it as a tandem, which I have right now. Another cool thing about this trailer, it has 2 ride heights. As you can see, this wheel actually free spinning, and there's not that much of a gap underneath it. but I don't have an air up all the way in. This trailer has two positions. I will actually, guys, show you. Two positions on the ride height. And you have to understand one more thing before I show you guys that. If you look from the side of a trailer, I don't know if the camera will catch it. See how much is arched out? And I believe between here and the center, it's almost 4 inches difference. Speaking of that, I actually will take the measuring tape and I will check it. But back to the ride height. So this thing right here has a level. This is will dump the air. It will not dump completely. It will basically lower it. If you're holding something taller, you need to gain an inch or something. That's what you do. You dump it. But when you dump that, make sure the rear axle on the ground because you will scuff the tires on it. So this thing basically designed, you have to have a flipped up when you have rear axle up, and you can have a flip down when you have a rear axle down. I hope I understand that right. It does have a separate box. It does have gauge. All the Reitnoures, all of them, every one of them I see, brand new, used, every one of them, this is come factory. This is not something you have to install aftermarket, like on a Benson or Mac. This is factory thing. So, and it does come with the stickers. You have an air pressure, which you look on here, and it tells you exactly your weight in pounds and kilograms per axles. If you do get 19.5s or 17.5 tires, Reitnoure does put 25,000 pound axle instead of 21 or 22,000 pounds axle, like rest of the, like rest of the manufacturing. And Mac does same thing. They do put 24,000 pound axles. This one has 25. So it is a bigger bearing, holds a lot more oil. And the most coolest thing about this trailer, will absolutely love it, and this is the first trailer I ever owned, is this hoses. What those things do, that's a self-inflating system. If anybody ever orders a new trailer and you have an option to put a self-inflating system, if it costs $5,000 or $6,000 extra, I recommend you spend that money and put it on, because they will save you ton of time, ton of money, and especially on a smaller tire. I can't express myself how much I'm in love with this system. I put 12 new tires, and I don't have to worry about it, check for the air or anything like that. Start the truck, there's on the front of the neck, there's a light. If you do have a flat tire or something like that, the light will come on. Majority of the time, that's when, if you do get a nail, the light will not come on, because the system itself can keep up to keep the tire in the right pressure. But you get a screw or something big, and a self-inflating system cannot keep up with the air pressure in the tires, the light will come on. Never had it happen. When I bought the trailer, it was last year, so it was 17. The trailer started working in 14, so it's 14, 15, 16. This guy told me he put on about 160,000 miles on this trailer, and I bought him with original tires. And I put on another probably 45,000 miles on them before I put this Continentals, which they were Michelin's, but I like Michelin's. That's what I run on the steer tire. But guess what? If you start putting Michelin's on here, you will go to poorhouse, because they are outrageously expensive. So my second preference for the trailer tire on a smaller tire is Continentals, the hybrids, energy, or whatever they want to call them. So whatever they call. And I had Mack trailer on 17.5s. I ran them out for 95,000 miles. I bought a Continental tires, and I got same exact mileage off of Continental tires than I do from Michelin's. I think I got it all, and this is actually my Reitnoure trailer. So if you do consider one, you might want to check for the self-inflating system. That's like #1 thing. You do want to have extra lights, like this guy has. It has them every 4 feet, and they go on, go on, go on. So back to, I gotta grab my measuring tape. So this is center of the trailer, right where the blinker is. And you have to remember, this is 19.5. So we will measure to rod rail. It's showing me 39 inches. Yep, 39 inches. And on the back, to the rod rail, 33.5 inches. I got on the ground, 33.5 inches. So let's say 39. So it's 4 inches difference. So it has a 4-inch arch on the main deck, and I will show you guys how's that leveling valve, or whatever you want to dump valve call, or height right difference. So as you can hear, the trailer will go down right now, but I don't have the rear axle up, down. I mean, it's up right now. So this is once again center of the trailer. We got 39 inches. It's going down. $33. The point of what I'm measuring, you have to understand, steel trailers don't do as much. As you can see the arch on the trailer, how it's arched out. So if you, for the example, if you end up loading a 46,000 pound coil, steel coil, this trailer will become almost flat. And you gain 4 inches of height. So if you're hauling something tall, let's say 11 feet tall, by weighs 45,000 pounds, this arch will go away. So the arch from a main deck will go away, and then an arch from a top deck go away. And yes, it does have an arch on the, let me flip this thing back up before I forget. So if you measure the back of the trailer, back of the top deck, let's go to the rod rail. It's 5 feet, as you can see. It's 5 feet. On the front, the rod rail, it's 56 basically, a little over. So 56, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if there's 4 inches of the arch on the main deck, and there's 4 feet on the arch on the top deck. So when you load something heavy, go away. Reason I was measuring this, a lot of guys telling me is like, nope, I don't want nothing but 17.5s because they 3 feet off the ground. Guess what? This trailer is 3 feet off the ground, just like 17.5s. But the coolest thing about it, I get hell of a lot more life out of 19.5s than 17.5s. And reason being, because 19.5, the size of a tire is 265, 70, 17.5, 19.5. On a 17.5, it's 245, 70, 17.5. So the width of the tire on 17.5, not wide enough. And when you're loading really, really heavy, there's a lot smaller footprint on it. They get hot. 19.5s, doesn't matter how hot it is, how heavy I am, I'm still cruising 65, 68, 70 miles an hour, and I don't have to worry about the tires, and I don't have to worry about the, have a blowout or anything like that. So I'm not pretending like I'm super smart about the trailer. I had experience with them. I see a lot of guys buying 17.5 tires, then they have complaints about it. And then they buy a trailer like Benson or something like that. I seen few of them, the state pockets get crushed. I don't know why. There's aluminum, quality of the aluminum. It doesn't bend. It's literally started like ripping apart. Tell you one thing, If you found the trailer you like, and you found the trailer that you like for the money, comparing why there's such a big price difference on them, like Transcraft. I think this is the most cheapest freaking trailer you can buy, or Wabash or something like that, the step decks. Trail King step decks, they do make good RGNs, but the Trail King step decks, they just, the cheapest you can go. Fontaine, they are cheap. Not most of them Fontaines, they do have a couple of them. Revolution is pretty nice, but I come up with 4 trailers. My number 1 trailer is Mac. I absolutely love Mac. Second of all, Reitnoure, and there's 2 of them I had dealt with them for quite a while. I like East, and I did dealt with them for, I had one customer, they had their own trailer, and that's all they had, East. East is like very heavy built, and they make a trailer, Rhodes, it's RHODEN, something like that. There's only one dealer for them in Michigan. They are like high quality build, and they're not that expensive, but they are very nice build trailer. And if you do want to buy one of those, you actually got to order, and it takes quite a while. Here's the difference, abbreviation difference between all this trailer. Why I like Mac. I had experience with it, like I said before, never had a single problem, and they just feel very, very solid. Like the whole thing welded, they actually have aluminum neck on them, and I just like the design of the trailer. Reitnoure, very well built. I like the trailer in general. I just don't like the lights, and I don't like what they all bolted together. And there is no problem with them. East is all welded. I would almost compare them to the Mac, but East is usually all aluminum, but they're a little bit more heavier because they're using a lot thicker aluminum on them. I don't know why, but they don't use as cross members as often as Mac or East, I think. So, and then Roach, I see one in my lifetime, Rhodes, one in my lifetime, on a truck stop, but I never walked around up close. I mean, I see some pictures on the internet. So I would recommend check on all those 4 trailers, and then figure out what you guys gonna do with that trailer. If you're gonna have something hauling all the time, something heavy, I would not chip out and not buy something cheap brand trailer. If you're gonna do generic stuff or partial, something like that, then you're never gonna be grossed out. You're never gonna put more than 40,000 pounds. Yeah, you can get away with a cheaper trailer. So thanks for watching. There was a 2015 Reitnoure trailer.